From the Bowels of the Earth is what I would call a psychedelic death metal album from Hallucinate. And that's not just for a matter of theme, it's for where they pull their influence from. And basically, these are the guys from Graveyard Ghoul. If you know that band, it's a German band. It's a autopsy influenced old school death metal band. And I think the thing to say about this record versus, like the typical sort of Morbus Chron style band and that kind of thing is that they've kept it kind of expressly old school death metal in feeling and movement, but then they've made sure to incorporate the psychedelic rock and progressive rock influences into their sound in a unique way that feels a bit modern. And I wouldn't say that this is like a bed sore level or a Swevin type of thing where it definitely feels related. Those feel more related to post-rock and indie rock in some sense, whereas this is much closer to a saunter through the shroud, where it's maybe more informed by progressive death metal in general, but not needled at in terms of a very technical style, or, it's not atheist either, right? So we'll check out a song here, and we'll get into maybe some more of the details. So this record really, it isn't so much presenting you with a bad trip, but the trip out of the bad trip. It's sort of the fallout beyond a bad psychedelic experience or a taxing psychedelic experience, where the fear has fully kicked in and kicked this person off of themselves, and they're sort of coming back from it and seeing the world in a different way. And I think the general feeling of dealing with it and going through it, it's sort of like cadaveric fumes echoing chambers of soul had this similar feeling where everything flows together. It is certainly an experience, a personal one, and it comes from a similar thought process. But there's a couple of surprises here and there. I think Paracletus is probably the one where there's more of the ethereal style in there. There's a psychedelic high to it for sure. There's some clean vocals, and none of this strays too far from like feeling like an old school death metal album proper, but certainly a German one. I think in the process, I went back and listened to a couple of earlier Incubator albums, if you're familiar with that band, and there's a sort of feeling of that old timber in this music and that adventurous nature, but maybe not the quirk of it. This doesn't feel quirky so much as it feels serious. And yeah, I think overall it's just a very strong album. I think my real issue, and the only reason why this doesn't get like the top mark of the month for me in August, is basically the cover art is bad. And I know that's kind of a jackass thought for me. I do think this record has some strong lasting value, but I think it just could have been a much more interesting artwork on the front, and because the music here has quite a lot of depth, and the visuals don't quite get you there as quickly as we've seen with other groups in this style, and there's not a lot of those, so this is something special. So check out the written review if you feel like it, and you can check out the album now. It's been out for about a week.